Hello, hello, Rhoda here. Welcome to my craft room. Today we're working on some exciting little tags. I really like how they're starting to turn out. They're going to be a rust technique. Another rust technique. Yes, I'm into the rust. Okay, the sneaky peek is these toilet paper rolls. Now, these are just like a regular size toilet paper roll. I may have cut them down a little bit. I can't remember. But anyhow, they were all the rage a couple years ago, and you still see people do them. But all they are is just a flattened toilet paper roll. You put a pretty type of paper over top of them, do a little embellishing, and I sewed around mine. I actually ran them through the die cut machine to flatten them, to get them really good and flat. Some people don't have that, so you could actually put them between books, they say. You could actually run over them with put them between a couple boards and run over it with your car if you have to. There were so many different possibilities and ways that you can actually squish them. So this is all I've got for here. This was just a blue tag, and I put a few pieces of a teal colored um, like scraps under it. They are kind of on the tight side. I will mention that when you sew them especially. They don't have that much room to give. This one I did a rounded top on it. So I do believe I did cut this one down. I thought I had. I had a sticker that I stuck on here with a little book page behind it. I really like that sticker. I wish I had more of those. It was something I'd bought ages ago. I think this was part of that same thing. It was something with postal. And this little guy up here, this is one of those ideas from scrapbooking with me. It's like a page bookmark, tabby kind of thing. So I used a ribbon crimper, and that's what I put here. And I actually put a little piece of ribbon on the outside edge there. Did a dovetail, whatever you call that. And I did follow your heart, and I just used scraps. So that's all I did there. And I did a dangle, kind of a big dangle, but you know. So you take that last one and you just kind of tuck it in. Now, she did hers with a eyelet. She put an eyelet through her 3. And you want to have that nice tightness because otherwise they're going to come apart. I think she did one where she had eyelets in all 3 pieces, and then she used a bulb clip. But they don't clamp enough then to hold onto your page. All right, what we're starting out with, and it doesn't matter about the size. I've got 3 or 4 different sizes because I was using whatever I had. But what we want to do first is to put some texture paste, some crackle texture paste on here. And as you can see, I put my big finger in it the other day, but it's texture paste opaque crackle. When you start out with white, now this is some of my watercolor paper. What'll happen though, it'll bow on you. So you want to put something up behind it. Glue it to something. And I think what I was using, and it's still bowed a little bit, but you can always retrain it, is I glued it to this because you can write on the back of that. You don't have to do anything else to line it at all. Now I'm going to use some of my Turbo Tacky glue. I have been using it in the past few videos, or not videos, but on some projects as I was gluing them down, and it seems to hold really well. I just have to watch that I don't get too close to the edge because it's got such a big mouth on it, and I don't know what to do for it. So I thought if I did it in this way, I can mash out the excess, and I'm not going to go too far. Well, as you can see, you're going to have to wipe it up if you put too much in there. But I'm learning about the exact amount to go with. I'm getting there. As you can see, it's still coming out, but you know, it's an art to getting it to be just right. But the more you press it, the better it adheres to this back, and you won't have to worry about it coming off. All right. And I've got other pieces and parts here. You know, I'm not a techie, so I don't do anything with splicing or editing. The pause button is what I edit. I'll edit with it. If I gotta stop and cut something, I'll do that and hit the pause button. All right. I'm going to go ahead and just kind of roughly cut this out. I just wanted to make sure it was down really good. All right, so what we're going to do now, get that back in my chipboard box, is we're going to, I might have to cut it out, tell you the truth, because I'm probably going to go to the outside edge of this texture paste. So we'll do that real quick. While I say I'm so happy that you come to visit and spend some time with me. I hope you enjoy this. This is a little bit of the mixed media that I think everybody seems to enjoy. They like to see what I come up with. Well, today I'm kind of going by what she did. The lady that I watched is Words and Pictures, and her name is Allison. Can't remember what her married name is, or her name there on the channel, but she is one of the makers for Tim Holtz. She's the one, if you watch him, that's always putting a stick in something. I swear, she is forever putting a stick into her projects. And I see a little bit of a gap there, so I'm going to go back down with it. Yeah, that fixed it. So anyhow, that's the lady. But I love to see what she does. I've actually got to catch her video today and see what she's doing. But she inspires me because she does a lot of mixed media. She does a lot of stuff with the texture paste. And okay, like I said, I've got texture paste, opaque crackle. If you have a white surface, it's great because that means, and you know, I might bring my little thing here so I can just toss it in the trash can. Because that means that the white, if your crackle or paste is white, you're fine. Now she had something that wasn't white. I think hers was translucent. There's different ones that you can get. Now I put it on pretty heavy. I mean, I'm fine with putting it on goopy gloopy heavy. And I didn't cut it to the shape of a tag. I probably should have, but I'm just going to go with this for now. And I've been needing to use it up, so why not do it in a project that I can use in all kinds of different things. I'm trying not to get it over the edge. And then once you do get a good bit of this covered, you're going to want to come back over and do some jibby jabbying. I'm with the terms now, baby. I've got all kinds of terms, but you want to rough the surface up, in other words. Now, the way this works, the thicker you put it on, the bigger the crackle. The thinner you put it on, the more delicate the crackle. I've heard people say that they can't get it to crackle. It won't do anything. I don't know what the devil they're doing. I always get a crackle. It could be they're not putting it on there thick enough. Don't hesitate. Put some on there. Yeah. And then what you want to do is maybe come back in and give it some texture. This is basically what she did. I'm not sure if she did this exact style that I'm doing, but I think I stuck my finger on the back. Probably got some white back there already. Yeah, it's really nice and thick down here, but yeah, you'll get a beautiful crackle. You wait till you see what some of my other ones turned out to look like. Now, I had a little bit of a problem because my cat, he likes to get up on the chair here beside me and go to sleep while I'm working. Well, he got in here too fast for me, and I had this tray with newly spackled pieces on it. Now he comes and he gets on top of it, puts his paw in one of them. I'll show you. Well, I actually put it in two of them. So I'll be showing you those landmarks. He left his mark on society. All right, I'm going to clean this off. All right, I'm setting this off to the side so it can dry. And I'm going to come back in with this one. Like we're going to pretend it's magic, you know. Get all this. Now, if you're using a stencil or like with your spatula, anything like that you're using with this texture paste, as quick as a lick, you get it in the water. Like you can have a little pan of water beside you if you want or whatever, but clean it off immediately, please. Now, this is what I got. I told you I had different sizes. So you see the big old crackles in there. Check that out. I have a little bit of a ridge. I may not have smoothed this one out like the other ones as much, but as you can see, the crackle sort of fades off over here where it's really, really thin. Now, I hardly have any right there or there, but you can see it grow. It's almost like snake skin or alligator skin. It kind of reminds me of that. So the next step that she did was she sprayed it, and I don't know if she used oxide. I think she did, but hickory smoke. And what you want to do, let me get my little water container up here because I may have to spray my paper towel off. Now, she went in and sprayed it like that. And what she was saying was, this gets into those little cracks and crevices for you and will make the crackle stand out a whole lot more. So that's basically what she did. Then she took like her paper towel and wet it. I don't know how long she left that on there, but then she started blotting it off. And the idea wasn't to spray it gray, it was to have the gray go down into the holes. And as you can see, it's picking up. Let me spray some more. I think she actually sprayed the surface at one point. But if I've got a little bit of the white shining through, I'm good with that. I don't know that you would want to rub because you're going to interfere with the crackle. She said that people had asked her if she ever sealed her items, and she goes, no. But I think I'm going to be doing, the way she did it, she had like a collage paper image on top of hers that was gorgeous. And I want to do that. So I'm going to be using some collage medium over there. And when I do that, it's going to be covering and sealing that at the same time. So I'll get both, you know, two birds with one stone. Is that what? And weirdly enough, it's a bird. What is this? It is aviary is what I'm going to be using. I haven't been using it. I thought I would pull out some music or some of the birds and we would use it. Okay, so that part is done. Now our next part along the way is to put on some more paste. Now she had a white one, a white grit paste, and I don't have that. I only have Crypt, and it's drying up on me. So I was kind of glad when this came along. Look, I haven't even hardly used it. I got it back there at Halloween. But what you're going to do is you're just going to take and kind of gloop it. Yeah, another technical term. Gloop it on the side. I'm going to come down here and try a little more, kind of where areas are kind of thin or, you know, we're trying to make it look like rust. So you're going to want to try to pull it out a little bit and pull it down, and you're going to want to jab at it a little bit to make it kind of rough surfaced and things like that. So I just kind of go around the outside and do that all the way around. I felt like with the white that she had better control of coloring it afterward, because we're going to take some oxides and some inks, and we're going to be using a paintbrush and coloring it. Now, she did a great job on hers. I feel like mine is, I'm excited and proud of it, but it's sort of subpar because I felt like this gray turned it darker than I wanted it to actually be. But I guess I'll let you be the judge of that, and you tell me when you see my next project or next step over here, what you'll think of that. And then I'm going to put a little bit right here. Now, she did it in about 3 to 4 spots around. And, okay, and I'm going to put it down here on this corner because this corner looks bare. Yeah, it looks looks pretty bare. I don't know what happened there. Okay. But you can kind of pull it out, like inward. You know how rust grows? It's kind of like all over the place, isn't it? So there we go. Now that part needs to be drying. So you have several steps to this. It's got to go through some drying processes. Okay, and once it dries, this is what I get. So see, it's got those little black specks that's in it. And it still has a little bit of a rough texture to it. See, it's kind of bowed up there. So what we want to do, and I'm done with that, is to bring us in. I've got a little bottle of water. Let me push over to this side, then you can see everything. I've got some of the crackling campfire, which I'm going to put here. I don't know exactly how much I'm going to need. She used a lot of brown. Now, the inks are going to be more transparent, so they're going to actually kind of fade in, I guess you could say. And that one's walnut stain. This was rusty hinge. So she said to use browns, and you know, I've got plenty of browns, but not too many in the inks. But I think what I actually figured out is that it looks better the more orange or red that you put on it, because rust is not just brown. It's many, many shades. And she even brought out an interesting fact later, because she had also brought out a distress crayon, and I've got the walnut stain. That's going to go on at the end, or yeah, near the end. But she said she had one that had mica flakes in it. I don't think I ever got any like that. But the reason she said it was very important was because, you know, some rust glitters. It's got like a glittery shade that comes out on it. And so I thought that was an important piece to the creation process of trying to emulate rust that I didn't even think about. And I know what she's talking about, because yeah, if you ever stepped on a nice rusty nail before, you'll know what we're talking about. Now, you don't have to be all up right on top of the texture paste. I'm going to put a little bit more brown out here. You don't have to be right up on top of it. You can actually go ahead and let a little bit smear down in different spots. It doesn't have to be in one spot. Yeah, I'm not as crazy about the brown. Now, you can mix them. It doesn't matter. But you get a little bit more of that red on here, and you'll see. And I also use some Vintage Photo oxide, because that's going to give me a better surface coverage. I found that out later on too, so I'm going to grab me a little bit of that. And we're just going to kind of get in here and keep adding to it. Now this, I guess this part might be the one part that takes you the longest, because you're trying to mix your colors. You're trying to cover this and get it to turn out right. And you can add a whole lot more water to it and let it get more watery. See when it bleeds around the outside a little bit? That's good. It actually bleeds out into the crackle, and I think it really does a good job. Now you're also going to get back in here with some of that, I think I just washed all that brown off. You're going to get back in here with some more of the orange, and you're just going to keep building. You're just going to be all over the place with this thing. Well, I'm going to go ahead and just kind of smear me some of that. I got to get some more brown in, because this is kind of like anything else with scrapbooking, or, you know, you're going to be adding layers. Layers, layers, layers. I feel like I need some more brown. There, that's a little better. Now let's see what we can do. Put a little bit. This side over here, I think I totally washed off. I don't know what I did to wash it all off. I probably need a darker color as well. That was the thing with the it being like a gray grit paste. It just didn't quite work out. But can you see with the really orange parts that's coming out there, how that really makes it look rusty? So you want to add a lot of that. I'm going to get back over here and add me some little peaks and valleys of rust in this area. And then I'm going to try to make sure I get that little bleed line kind of going out in here. And she had a big drippy drip too that came down at one point. That was kind of cool. I don't know if I can get one of those going or not. Let's see what we can do here. Kind of like, yeah, where it kind of bleeds down. All right. I think I want some more brown. And I think we might be about done. Now what I did was, maybe I let it dry for a minute. All right, I'm going in with a little bit of my ground espresso. I didn't do this on the other one, so this will be kind of interesting to see if it works for me. See, I need to get some more brown in here, but it's not the right color brown. I would like to have a orangey brown. See? That's why the rusty hinge was doing so well, because it's got that in it. It's got a lot of orange tones, and all right. I know you're tired of watching me dibble dabble at this, so all right, let me show you what my next step was. And she didn't do this, but this is, and she barely put a wash of any kind of color on here, to tell you the truth. Because I was in cahoots here with this dark grit paste, I started putting this lightly on there, just hitting the highlights, and it helps that pop out, like the little red elements where the rust may be. I was trying all kinds of stuff. Now some of that's going to actually sink in because it's still wet. So Now, the part where she was talking about that mica that was in her distress crayon, I don't have that, but I do have a mica spray, tarnished brass. And there's not very much left in here. So what I was doing, I was taking the little wand and getting just a little bit on my tip and putting it, I might be down too low. Yeah, there we go. Where it kind of washes in there and gives a little bit of a highlight of a sheen. It might be because this is kind of wet that it's not affecting it, correctly. So we'll go with that for now. And I'll set this to the side. This has to dry now. Okay, moving right along. Here are some of the other ones that I did. And you can see that one I think is almost a little too straight, because I just kind of put that little wand on there and pulled a straight line. But when you dab it, it does a whole lot better. And I don't know if I was explaining. Yeah, if you pull a straight line, it doesn't look as natural. But you can see where it bled around the outside pieces. And where the rust is at. And I haven't got to it yet. But you can kind of see how that little bleed comes out, and it kind of looks natural to me. And you can, if you got little spots that don't have anything, you can put a little bit of that wash in there as well, and it really helps. I think he touched this one, but he didn't get that one too bad. But you can definitely see a paw print in that one. I had to grab him later on and wipe his foot off before that stuff dried on me. Oh my gosh. Well, let me hold it sideways. You can probably see it better. But I've got my mica spray on here and let it dry, and it gives me that little bit of a glitter. Now, some of them may be a little more orange than others. Now, like I said, hers were a whole lot different color, and this is a real big one. I forget how big this one is. He's actually, he's at 8 inches. Now, he kind of went through this one a little bit. You can see where the toe dragged. Or maybe that was my spatula. I don't know. But a little stinker. But you can see the real big crackles on this one. That's where it was really, really thick. And that's what it'll do. It'll peel back. And then when it was thinner, it does these little tiny baby crackles. I love that stuff. I love crackle. Yeah, this one was pretty good, but I think it was almost too thick, maybe, because it started popping off. And that's where we want to seal it. So the part that's coming up now, and I think I'm going to get these little ones and set them to the side. We want to do the aviary, what do you call it? The collage medium. Oh, it'll come to me. Now see, I got this little birdie right here. He's too big. I think he's too big for this. Is he? I need to put it over Graylin's foot. I'm trying to figure out where I could put it and which ones to put where. Like I have a word there, it's Birdie Darling. And I don't know if that one's too big or not quite positioned, because I don't have any rust on that right side, but I'm going to be hitting my rust on the left side. So I don't think I'm going to be able to use that one. Now I got to cut these two little birds here that are in a good position. So let's get them pulled off. Now I don't think the collage paper is made like a napkin where you can put the water on it and have it rip easy. Not like, sorry, I'm back there yanking. You can cut it and get a better bead on it. I was trying to get it to where it was. Is his tail going to be in my rust? Yeah. I was trying to, you know me, I want to get the whole lectures and everything in there. But it might be that I can just go like right there. and go right beside that bird. Let's try that. I want to at least do one so you can see what I'm talking about. Oh, I missed a step. Rats. Okay. Yeah, I have to do a step before I do this. Or I could do it after. I don't know. Alright, now that one is going to go good right here. I don't know that I'm going to have to worry at all about the straight line on the top. I don't think that I do. I think we're going to do it. We're going to at least do one like that. And then we'll do, I've got to do the outside of one of these so you can see how that's supposed to go as well. Tell you the truth, let's pile those up. Now this is also something that you might want to use. The Distress Crayon. She had ground espresso, I think. But what she did is she went and did it like that, where it was right against the edge. And she did the whole edge like that, I think. And then you can get in there with a wet finger. I think you can pull it over into your actual rust as well. It's eating away at that. It's so rough. Here, I'll do these two sides and let's see what we got. Oops. There. All right. Let me get a little water out here. Let's see if that's going to do the trick for us. Because this stuff is supposed to be smooth and blend, you know, like that. Yeah. Not all that crazy about it. Maybe I got the wrong color. But I have to use what I got, you know. I'm not going to buy anymore. Alright, let's see. Maybe that's alright. Alright, maybe I need to let it actually do the job without water. I had to watch her a couple times because, you know, this is something new to me. I'm not used to it. I think she did have a little bit that went up into the rust. Like that. So if I feel like it's too dark. What do you think? Does it look too dark? I always like to have something framed. I know that. There we go. I don't know if that adds to the rusty look, though. Okay. I know there's probably dark elements to rust that I'm just not thinking about right now. There. I don't know. I don't mind it. Let's keep going. Do the bottom down here. See if I can make it move around a little bit. Add a little water. Ooh, too much water there. Or too much color. Yeah, let it sink in a little bit. You can actually totally erase Distress Crayon. You just keep adding water and it'll just totally go away. You won't have any there to mess with. That's what's so great about it. I mean, it's usually permanent once it dries and everything, but And you can also seal it. But it also has, it does look crusty. Ooh, it kind of looks crusty. I kind of chewed up the end there. I might have to put my finger on it and rub it back down again. Oh, okay. Yeah. I think I need to go back through and add a little bit more onto the top of my rust pockets. Is that what you would call it, a rust pocket? I think I need a little bit in here. And then I think I had a little bit in here, but I can't see it. A little bit there wouldn't hurt. And then a little bit right there wouldn't hurt. Okay. I don't think that looks bad. Clean my finger off. And that's what she did to each one of them. I'll put this back because now we're going to get some collage medium and work on adding our bird. Okay, this is what we're using, collage medium matte, which means it won't be glossy. And it's a Ranger product. I know you've seen me use this before. Usually when I want to collage something and have it go down quick, because this dries quick. Now, that is going to be up where my rust is going to be, and I don't want it there. So, okay, I think about right there. I think I'm going to try to put it on the main body of this and then come in on the edges with it after I've laid it down. Because I'm going to go more than likely over top of everything to seal all of my crackles. Don't want my crackles going nowhere. Okay. I'm holding my brush in my mouth. There. Sorry. My mouth was occupied. And I don't know. I don't want any wrinkles in it. Now, she only used a very small little cherry. I think she had done some kind of a collage paper. Somebody made it into actual collage paper from one of her drawings and paintings. And that's what she was using. I'm hoping there's a situation here where you can actually see through this and see the crackle. And I don't know that you can, though, tell you the truth. I don't like that roll line there. Maybe I come back in and do something else there. And I'm going to go ahead and I don't think I have to worry about the rust. It's just my my crackle that I'd like to put a little bit of this over top of. Okay, now I'm going to figure out this bottom here. Where is that piece of paper where I ripped them off? Oh, they weren't on that. What were they? Was that them? Yeah. All right, let me see. It's sticking to my fingers. All right. Great. Okay. Now, I want to see if I can get this to go down right underneath. Right there. And it's going to give me Sorry, I had to stick that in my mouth again. With nowhere else I could put it. All right. I think that's good. And then I'm going to cover the rest of this with a little bit to seal my crackles. Okay. I think that's good. Make sure, take out a little bit of the brush strokes. You've come across a couple of different ways, so you can kind of get rid of those brush strokes. Okay. Okay, I think she's done. I hit it with a little heat gun, so it dried it up pretty nicely, and I think I'm okay with it. I wouldn't mind that there might be a little bit more music or something on there, or even like a telegraph office. But I think it's okay. I'll evaluate them at the end and see what I want to do, because I still have all these to put some kind of an image on. And you can really see the difference here between this one. This is actually the darker one. But then once you add the gathered twigs, wasn't it? Yeah, the gathered twigs crayon, how that really changes the outside edges of it. That's pretty cool, isn't it? All right, well, I hope you enjoy this and got to learn another little mixed media technique, especially with using what you've got on hand. Like me, it was the gray Crypt grit paste, and it's drying up. It's not going to make it to Halloween. It needed a home. So I've fixed it with a few of these, and I'll find another purpose to use it here soon. All right, everybody. I hope you have a great day. All my subscribers and viewers, I appreciate you. Come back and check me out again sometime. Bye-bye.